Hello and welcome back to our first October edition of the Spartan Sports Zone. Today we will find out how volleyball did as they opened up MEAC play at Joseph Eccles Hall last weekend.
And we'll also check in on how the tennis teams did in a pair of late September invitationals. The Spartan Sports Zone begins right now. Hello Spartan fans, this is the Spartan Sports Zone. I'm Chandrea Lee of the Sports Information staff, joined by Mike Bello, Assistant Sports Information Director. Glad you could join us this week. And we begin with NSU volleyball as the Spartans were at home last weekend to begin conference play. For more on that, let's turn to Mike.
Thanks, Chandrea. NSU volleyball opened up MEAC play last weekend at home against Hampton and Coppin State. The match against the Pirates Friday was packed the house night at Joseph Eccles Hall as the Spartans looked to get off on the right foot. The Spartans did just that, at least early on, as senior Goda Yankoskeda and sophomore Jessica Johnson each had 7 kills in the first set to give NSU an early 1-0 lead. After a 2-point loss in the first set, Hampton came back and won a tight second set, 25-22, as Vendula Strakova had 8 kills in that second set. Strakova finished with 27 kills in the match as Hampton eventually pulled away in the final 2 sets for the 3-1 victory. Johnson led NSU with 18 kills, and Yankoskeda added 12. It was on to Coppin State on Sunday for Norfolk State, and early on the Spartans allowed the Eagles to stay in the match thanks to numerous self-inflicted errors. NSU pulled out an extra point win in the first set, 26-24, after giving away 17 points due to those unforced errors. Johnson and junior Jasmine Flowers led the way with 5 kills apiece in the early going. As was the case throughout the match, NSU got some timely plays to hold back the Eagles. Norfolk State won the second set, 25-22, followed by a 25-23 victory in the third set for the 3-0 win. Johnson and Flowers combined for 21 kills, while redshirt junior Noel Eagles played an outstanding match with 19 digs. Despite continuously shooting themselves in the foot, head coach Brandon Duvall was pleased with how the Spartans came up with big plays late in those sets.
We know what we're capable of doing at all times. We have the personnel, both on the court and on the bench if necessary, that can come up and make those level of plays. What really hurts us right now are the errors that we're making. There are a lot of unforced errors and situations that really hurt the team, but it's nice to know that there is an individual or two that at any moment can step up. Adriana did a very good job in the third set last night, going on a long serving run to really bring us back to where we were down almost the whole third set. And we came back, and that kind of built some momentum. So we have a few players that can do that from time to time. We just wish we would be able to do that right from the start.
Later on in the show, we hear from sophomore sitter Darcy Moore about what the Spartans need to do this week in practice leading to Thursday's match against Morgan State at home. The tennis teams continued their fall seasons this weekend as well, and with more on how they did, let's turn it over to Chandrea Lee.
Thanks, Mike. The women's team traveled to Farmville, Virginia to compete at the Longwood Classic on Friday and Saturday. The Spartans got things started in the doubles competition. In Flight 2, sophomore Andrea Machiavello and junior Mafalda Lorca defeated Sarah Mumau and Paloma Altore of Longwood 8-6. They also posted an 8-6 victory over North Carolina Central's Lindsay Cover and Mia Romick. Machiavello also earned a win in singles play as she defeated Longwood's Anna Pilak in Flight 2 6-4, 6-3. The women will play in the East Carolina Invitational in Greenville, North Carolina this Friday through Sunday. The men's team traveled to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to compete in the Penn Invitational, where they picked up wins against players from Lehigh, Duquesne, St. Peter's, and Niagara. Sophomore Dmitry Zamantovich went 4-0 at the number 1 single spot, while junior Daniel Grau was 3-1 at the number 3 position. The men will return to action this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the University of Virginia Fall Classic in Charlottesville, Virginia. The Norfolk State cross-country programs will also compete this weekend as they travel to Leesburg, Virginia on Saturday to compete in the George Mason Invitational. Both teams are coming off first-place finishes at the UMES Cappy Anderson Invitational on September 21st. Coming up after the break, we'll preview the next 2 matches for NSU volleyball and find out who our top 3 performers are this week. All that plus more coming up on the Spartan Sports Zone.
You're a Norfolk State Spartans fan. You want the world to know it, and there's only one place for you to gear up. Shop.nsuspartans.com. You'll find a great selection of Spartans items, including jerseys, t-shirts, hats, and more. Decorate your home, your office, or even your car with the best selection of Spartans gear anywhere. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you're a Spartans fan. Head to shop.nsuspartans.com.
Welcome back to the Spartan Sports Zone. The MEAC schedule couldn't be any more friendlier for the volleyball team, at least in the early part of the season, as NSU opens with 5 of its first 6 conference matches at home. That continues this week as NSU will host Morgan State on Thursday night at Joseph Eccles Hall beginning at 7 p.m. The Bears own a 5-10 record so far this year, including 0-2 in the conference after back-to-back defeats at the hands of Coppin State and Hampton last weekend. Down 2-0 to Coppin State, the Bears roared back with wins in the next 2 sets before falling in the final set for a 3-2 loss. Hampton was in too much for the Bears on Sunday in an easy 3-0 win for the Pirates. Despite what those results might suggest, NSU is not going into the match on Thursday thinking it's a guaranteed win, especially after the somewhat sloppy play against Coppin State.
Even though Morgan has lost a bunch of games so far, we still have to come in strong no matter what team it is. We still have to come out and play as a team and talk to each other and just play our A game. That's what we have to do.
NSU will also play at Virginia Commonwealth next Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the second-to-last non-conference matchup this year for the Spartans. VCU currently has a 12-4 record on the year, with matches against Hampton and 2 Atlantic 10 Conference opponents on tap before the match with NSU. You can follow the live stats for the match with VCU on the Rams website, vcuathletics.com. NSU Athletics will also offer live stats for Thursday's match with Morgan State, as well as a live video feed for $5.
It's now time for this week's top 3 performances. Coming in at number 3 is sophomore hitter Jessica Johnson. She led NSU on the offensive side of the ball in both matches last weekend, finishing with 29 kills, 21 digs, and 4 service aces. Our number 2 performer is sophomore tennis player Dmitry Zamantovich. He finished 4-0 in singles and also won 2 doubles matches over the weekend, picking up wins over players from Lehigh, St. Peter's, Niagara, and Duquesne. And our top performer this week is linebacker Lyndon Trail. The junior made a pair of interceptions, the last to seal the victory over Morgan State, and also caught his first career touchdown pass in NSU's 27-21 win. And that will once again do it for this week's edition of the Spartan Sports Zone. As always, we would like to thank the Department of Video and Media Productions and Chantel Copes for all their help. I'm Chandrea Lee.
And I'm Mike Bello. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.